Good morning, my name's Emma and my business is Real Life Yoga. You might think I look a little odd today. You're right, that's because I have just got up and I'm still in my pyjamas. You'll be very pleased to know that I have put a bra on, but I was just desperate this morning to do a bit of yoga, and that is not like me. I'm a not very good in the morning person. I prefer my bed and a big cup of coffee. But this morning, my body is really crying out to stretch. Now, it could be that I've done a lot of classes this week, teaching other people, and my body's just now telling me it's time to give a little something back. So I thought I'd share this with you. You can do yoga the minute you get up in the morning. Don't have to do any big fancy poses. Don't have to have all of the gear. You can just simply get up, stay in your pyjamas, and have a little bit of a stretch out. So that's what we're going to do. So sit nice and comfortably. I like to just rock from side to side, pull out the flesh of my bottom. So I sit nice and heavy on the sit bones, rest my hands onto my thighs, close my eyes and just allow myself to turn inward, just for a moment or two. And we want to really start to connect with our breath. So as we inhale, allow the belly to fill. And as you exhale, let it go. Now I want you to inhale through the nose, but take your exhale through the mouth. And just do this a couple of times. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And one last time. And then just slowly settle back into the natural rhythm of your breath. As we start to connect with the breath, start to really focus especially on those exhales. We start to switch on the parasympathetic nervous system, which has been switched off during the night. So we're giving our body a big boost in the morning to be able to cope with the day ahead by just breathing nice and deeply. So I'm going to interlace the hands out in front of me, take a nice stretch. Inhale up to the ceiling, drop my chin to my chest, so I'm lengthening at the back of the neck, and that feels really quite stiff here. So I'm just going to breathe into that stiffness by pressing up through the interlaced fingers. Taking a big exhale into my sit bones and just tucking the chin a little bit more to allow the neck to just stretch out a little. I'm going to inhale, bring the chin back to neutral. And then slowly bring the arms back down either side of the body. We're going to take a side stretch. So left arm comes out to the side, right arm comes up and over. I want you to stretch long through your fingertips and try and get this upper arm trying to scrape alongside your ear. As you exhale, bend into that left elbow and reach long from your right sit bone all the way to your fingertips. So as we breathe here, your exhale should anchor you to the floor on that right side, and your fingertips lengthen. Your left elbow deepens, and you really should feel a lovely long stretch of the body. Take an inhale to come back to center, flow all the way across to the other side. So start slowly, just reaching that top arm alongside your ear, and then anchoring into your opposite sit bone, left sit bone. And then very slowly, we start now just to reach over to the right. And with each exhale, we can soften into that elbow on the floor. As we soften into the elbow, do not allow the opposite buttock to reach up. Anchor it down. And then come back to the center, hold and take a breath. And we're going to go back to the first side. So left arm out, right arm up and over, bend into that elbow and breathe. Should feel a little easier second time round. So we're going to press down into the hand on the floor, and I want you to spin your chest open so your shoulder blades come down the back, and then really stretch along through your fingertips. Think about that left ear, see if you can drop it down towards the floor a little, so we have a nice loose neck, no holding or tightening. Opposite side, all the way across, reach long, bend into the elbow, anchor through the opposite buttock. Strengthen the fingers so they're nice and long, and then spin your belly button, your heart open. Start to feel your shoulder blades come down the back, and then re-soften into that left buttock. Breathe here. A couple of long, deep, even breaths. I like to close my eyes because I really start to feel the stretch through my body when I do that. Inhale, come all the way up. Well done. Spin around, cat-cow. Hands under shoulders, knees underneath your hips, tuck your toes. So, sink the belly, lift your chin as you inhale. As you exhale, round up. Chin comes in towards the chest, but we don't tuck it in too much. Soften the body as you inhale. Lift the chin, start to feel this lovely curve in the lower back. And then round, pulling up from the belly button, pressing into the hands as you exhale. So I want you to link your movement with your breath. One movement, one breath. Work right to the end of your breath. Let the breath turn. And then move the pose in the opposite direction. And then slowly let's come back to all fours. We're going to just inch our knees back a little, tuck our toes and come up to downward facing dogs. Going to be a bit of a stretch first thing in the morning. Everybody feels it when they've been in bed. Everything's nice and tight. I like to walk my feet in a little, just try and find my dog position, and then walk and breathe into the heels, lift the toes up. And then take a nice deep bend in the knees. So when we bend the knees, we take a little bit of strain off the hamstrings. We also take strain out of the neck and the shoulders. We spend a lot of time during the day really hunching up. So just allow the neck, a couple of nods back and forth. And then just allow the neck to lengthen as part of the spine. And then slowly start to take the thighs back. Take a lovely big exhale here. And then bend through your left knee as you press through your right heel. And then just switch sides. I want you to do this nice and slowly. The slower we go, much more feeling we get at the backs of the legs. We start to notice what the body's asking for. If we just move like this really quickly, it's as if we're trying to get to our final destination really quickly. We're not noticing anything. So just spend a little bit of time. Keep it slow and even and connected with your breath. And I like to come up high onto the tiptoes. I press into my hands and press the floor away, moving the sit bones high up to the ceiling. As I exhale, I imagine the breath moving down into my heels. And we hold here. Suck the upper arms towards the ears so they're lovely and strong. And take another exhale as you take the tops of your thighs back. And then very slowly come back down to all fours and sit back into a child's pose. So we just want to try and get the body moving. I just want to have a little bit of a stretch first thing in the morning. I don't want to do any crazy poses. I don't want to do any crazy flowing or holding. I just want to open up the body. We're going to come back up to all fours, and we're just going to work through those 3 poses. Simple flow. So just inch the knees back a little bit underneath the hips, and we're going to tuck the toes and come to downward facing dog. As we exhale, we're going to drop down to our knees. As we inhale, we're going to flatten the feet, sit back, extended child's pose. Exhale, all fours, tuck toes, inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, all fours. Inhale, sit back. Exhale, all fours. Tuck toes, downward facing dog. So just work with your own breath. One movement, one breath. Slowly working through the poses, allowing the body to slowly start to open first thing in the morning. And then slowly back up to downward facing dog. Well done. I'm going to rock my weight forward now into a plank pose, having my hands under my shoulders, keeping the thighs lifted a little, and this feels a little strenuous for first thing in the morning. So I'm going to start to bend my elbows, but I'm dropping my knees. Then my chest, then my chin, and I'm pressing the toes away. Hands get ready either side of the chest for cobra pose. So toes are down, thighs are down, and for this one we're going to keep our hips down, so very low cobra. Inhaling, rolling up, keep the hips down, and bring your focus simply to your elbows. Suck the elbows into the back body, widen your collarbones, pull your belly button forward and up, and try to relax your bottom, and slowly come all the way back down. Tuck your toes, come back to all fours. We don't have to go straight up into downward facing dog, but then lift up and replace the feet for down dog. And then just lift that right leg just a little and slowly swing it forward, place it down, drop into my back knee. I'm going to inhale and bring the hands onto my hips and just hold here. So my hips have got incredibly tight during the night. We need to spend a little bit of time allowing them to naturally open. So just hold here. Take a big exhale, maybe use your hands and really start to anchor down through that hip. And then when you have your balance, lift the arms up to the ceiling, full stretch, engage any wobble that you have. It's really natural to wobble. Oh, there she goes. As soon as I talk about it, I'm going to wobble. And then just soften here. So I want to create softness through my foundation, and then breathe from the ribs all the way up through the armpits and up through the fingertips. So we're lengthening and bringing life to every part of the body. Exhale, hands down, downward facing dog. Couple of nice deep breaths here and downward facing dog. Opposite leg lifts. Slowly swing it forward, place it down and drop. So, settling once more into that front hip. You don't need to lift the hands from the floor. If that's too much this morning, just let them rest either side of the leg, underneath the shoulders. Or you can use your bricks. If you're happy to come up to your front knee, please do so. And we can use our hand just to drop into that front hip a little more. Take a couple of breaths here as we really settle into the foundation and then reach up. And breathe. So lovely, long, deep, even breaths here. As we anchor down, breathe into the side ribs, up through the elbows, up through the fingers. You can start to lift the chin just a little. Breathe here. I like to imagine I'm holding something above my head and I squeeze the hands to really start to fire up the arms. Exhale, we come down, and we step back to downward facing dog. Whew, I'm starting to feel a bit knackered already. So not much more, my body's saying thanks very much, I'm a little bit tired now. But we spent a few moments trying to open up the body just a little. So I'm just going to bend my knees, give the hamstrings a break, step forward to the front of my mat, and take a big sweep of the arms all the way up. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the heart. And just hold here. 1 or 2 breaths with the eyes closed, allowing the heart rate to settle. And then inhale, reach up, full stretch. Exhale, fold and touch the floor. Uttanasana. Your hands may not come to the floor. It's first thing in the morning. They may never come to the floor. Use your blocks or rest your hands on your shins. Inhale, lengthen and look forward halfway. Exhale and fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Bend into your knees, scoop the arms up through Utkatasana. And then come all the way back up to stand. Bring your hands to your heart.